Hey, it's Greg here. We happen to have a couple of weeks off as far as the band playing shows, and I was able to get my drum set back to our rehearsal space and do some work on it. And I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a behind the kit video here because I get asked a lot of questions almost every show about my kit. So I thought I'd just go over it. It's going to be a little in depth, so if this isn't really your thing, you're probably going to want to move on. However, you might find it interesting. So, here we are in the studios, and this is the full kit. So I play in an electric acoustic hybrid kit. All of the drums are electronic, and the cymbals, for the most part, are acoustic. I do have a couple of cymbals I use for special effects and things like that. But the pads, actually, most of them, at least these, are off of a 22-year-old Roland TD-10 kit. They're called PD 100 and 120s. They're 10 inches and 12 inches. This is actually the original head on this drum here. It's made its way from the low toms over to the high just because the wear is much less on the low toms. So that head's 22 years old and it's still hanging in there. The rest of them I've had to replace. The module started with the original TD-10 because I bought the whole kit at one time and actually played it for about 18 years. Then I upgraded to a TD-25 Roland module, and then recently I upgraded to a TD-30. And the main reason I upgraded to the TD-30 is because the sounds within the kit are much better than previous versions. It also has some technology in it that gives the drums a much more natural sound when I play in different areas, like on the sides or on the rim or in the center. So it really helps with that. And then most important, there's individual outputs. The TD-25 module I had a left and a right out. Everything came out those two outputs. Whereas with the TD-30, there's individual outputs for kick, snare, toms in stereo, cymbals in stereo, hi-hat, and ride cymbal. So actually 8 outputs plus the regular stereo outputs. So that just gives me a lot more flexibility as far as the front of house engineer being able to mix the kit a little bit better than just a stereo send with everything on it. So pretty happy about that. I actually have not played this live yet. It took me a while to get it all set up and the kit's made. It's my main kit. Got one called Thunder. It's got a really deep, low floor tom for Thunderstruck. Got one for the Trooper. I added these two here high toms, so I can actually have a total of 6 toms, which is pretty much a minimum if you're going to play what Nico McBrain plays. Got a reverse tom on this one for Nothing But a Good Time. Got a big reverb-soaked snare on this one that I use for Still of the Night, and probably a little bit Pour Some Sugar on Me. I got a Zeppelin kit, which I will, of course, use for rock and roll, and Immigrant Song, and also probably Highway Tune by Greta Van Fleet. And then I have a very loose, open-sounding kit that I just named Kravitz. I will use it for Are You Gonna Go My Way, but I'll also use it for a few other things. So that's going to be really cool when I finally play this set out, which will be tomorrow, actually. Sabian AAX Explosion crashes are what I use. I have a 19-inch and a 17-inch. I had a 16-inch, but I replaced it with this cymbal here so that I can have many different cymbal sounds on this one pad. Got an AA Rock Ride, AAX stage hats. Got an AAX Explosion 16-inch on this side with this little cymbal stacked on top. Don't really know what it is. I got it at Goodwill for $5. and I like it. It's loud and trashy and explosive and just what I need. Got a couple auxiliary drums over here. Use it for cowbell sounds. And then, like I said, a couple of high toms. I'll use it when I need a big assortment of toms for a song. And then I have some other special effects on there as well. Stick holder. Stick holder. There we go. I like to have them on both sides. You never know where you're going to be when you drop a stick or need a stick. iPad. So the iPad is used for many things. Right here I have our band helper app up. It's got all of our songs on it with lyrics, beats per minute, the key that the song's in, and some special notes like Greg starts this one. It's in B flat, and so on. So this just holds all of our songs, and really useful app. There's also a metronome if I wanted to use it for practice and things, and then also if I need to trigger some sort of sound effect, like at the end of No More Tears, it's just a hand in the bush, in the bush, in the bush, in the bush. That would be something that I can trigger here. It's also got a mixer. We use an in-ear monitoring system, all of us do, so we each have our own mix that we can control via an app on our phones or on our iPad. So I have that there as well. I can toggle between these screens. And that's pretty much, and also then between set music, we have some set lists made for different occasions, and I can play those from here. So it's kind of just a control center for different things like that. Double pedal, I do play double bass, hi-hat, and this would be vocal effects. So I sing background vocals on most of the songs, and then I do a lot of the talking in between songs as well. So it's really difficult if we're playing somewhere with a house sound person that doesn't know when I'm going to talk or when I'm going to sing. You don't want delay and reverb when you talk. So it's much easier for me to just kick it on and off with a foot switch. That's what this is. So this pedal actually gives me a noise gate, compression, and then I can control via the dials the amount of delay and reverb on there. So that's really handy. I just kick it on when I sing, and I kick it off when I talk, and it allows me to have control of that without having to worry about what's going on front of house and sound man, and who, in our case, for our own shows, is also the light guy, Xavier. So this makes it easier for both of us, really. The other one I call my secret weapon pedal. We'll just leave it at that. So that's pretty much the kit. Go around to the front side. That's my practice kit. Go around to the front side. Take a peek at it here. This is an Elise's kit, by the way. Got the bass drum mounted. Looks like it's floating on this custom-made drum platform, which is really nice because we can run everything underneath it. There's stuff going on there like cabling that goes down through holes in the platform. So it keeps it all nice and neat, and then everything comes out the back side. And behind here we have this rack, so it provides some lighting and light effects. And then down here we have two fog machines. This is our Behringer XR18 digital mixer. We've got the transmitter for my headset mic, and then a power conditioner with a lot of jacks back there. So we just roll this thing in, set it right behind the drums here, and then everybody plugs into it. Everything's nice and neat and compact. We can play almost every stage, and Everything's contained. Cabling it's already cabled. If you can't see them, that's a good thing. I try to make it as neat and clean as possible. I missed this symbol. This is another electronic symbol. It also has some effects on it, different splashes and China type symbols on there, and things like that. So that's the kit. Hopefully I answered a lot of the questions that I get about the kit. If you have any more questions or want to know a little more detail about certain aspects of my setup, feel free to ask me whenever you see me, or you can email or message the band and I'll get back to you that way. So thanks a lot for enduring my little tour, and we'll see you soon.